Okay. Now, everyone, can you look to the front?
Yes.
So now I am going to teach you a jazz dance about the animals that we have learned before. Okay? So, now I will sing the jazz dance first. After this, I want everyone to follow me and sing with me the jazz dance. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, the jazz dance. It is big.
It is big.
It has few remains.
It has few remains.
What is it?
What is it?
It is a lion.
It is a lion.
What is it?
What is it?
It is a lion.
It is a lion.
So, can someone help me and lead your friend to sing the jazz chant? Anyone?
Just one me.
Okay, my daughter. So, my daughter, can you stand up? Yes, I know you want to sing the jazz chant. So, my daughter, can you stand up? Okay, my daughter, can you come to the front? Okay, now class, I want you to follow my Zato and sing the jazz chant. Okay? Okay, class. Okay, my daughter, you can start to sing the jazz chant. Okay, everyone follow my daughter, okay?
Okay, teacher.
It is big.
It is big.
Louder, class.
It has furry
Very
It has furry mane.
It has furry mane.
What is it?
What is it?
It is a lion.
It is a lion.
What is it?
What is it?
It is a lion.
It is a lion.
Okay, thank you, my daughter. Give it back to my daughter. Okay, so now, everyone, I will divide you in two groups. I want in each group you have 3 people in a group. Okay? So, Shazwani, you will be in a same group with Shuhada and Zafina. The second group, I'm Farahin, Mazatul, and also Hanini. Okay? Okay, the third group will be Asma, Fatin, and also Helmi. And the last group, Felix. Felix, are you with me? Felix, Nizwa, and also Anika. Okay, so now we will look to another jazz chant. Okay, so before that, can you follow me? Can you follow my? Of course. Okay. Class, it is huge.
It is huge.
It has long trunks.
It has long trunks.
What is it? What is it?
What is it?
It is an elephant.
It is an elephant.
What is it?
What is it?
It is an elephant.
It is an elephant.
Okay, now, so I want you to practice in your group these jazz chants, and I want you to come to the front and present your the jazz chant. But listen, Lafina. I want you to for you to add a body movement when you sing your jazz chant to make your jazz chant more interesting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay. So now you can practice in your group. If you want to ask anything, you can ask for me. Class, imagine that the practice has finished and this group, can you come to the front? Okay, so the first group. Can you come to and present? Zafina, Shuhada, and also Shazwani. Okay.
Hi Shazwani.
Okay, so class, please pay attention to this group. Okay, you can start now.
Now is our leader.
Okay.
Cepat. I have suggestion. Why don't you give that jacket to me?
Yes, I can. So we can immerse. Yes.
Teacher. Can you help me, teacher?
Okay, Wani.
Okay, friends, can you sing along with me?
Yes.
Okay, follow me. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, it is huge.
It is huge.
It has long trunks.
It has long trunks.
What is it?
What is it?
It is an elephant.
It is an elephant.
What is it?
What is it?
It is an elephant.
It is an elephant.
Okay, so everyone, give it a clap to this group. Thank you everyone. Okay. So basically that is our practice stage. So, if you can see, this stage, the practice stage, highlighted on the importance of using the target language in an authentic manner. So you can see based on the lesson just now, based on the stage just now, how the teacher tried to use the target language, which is the English language, in order to let the student to use it in authentic manner, where the teacher asks the student to come to the front and present it, so that the student will be able to use the target language, and it helps the pupils to maintain at the I stage. Do you still remember what is the I stage just now? Okay, so the I stage is the stage where the student or where the pupils have the language competence of the target language, and during this stage, the pupils are also being prepared to acquire the +1 or the comprehensible input that will be learned in the production stage. So it is a stage where the pupils are getting ready to get the +1. Okay, so we will proceed to the production stage. So now, okay class. Okay, now if you can see, teacher Sania is distributing a flyer about animals in the zoo. Animals, about different kinds of animals that you have learned before. So, okay, can you see the first animal? Can you read the first animal? The hyena first. Okay, can you read the?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, can you see the title?
Yes.
Yes. What is it called?
Hyena.
Hyena. Do you know what is hyena, class?
Lion
No.
King.
Huh?
In Lion King.
Yes, in Lion King. Do you want to know what animals is hyena?
Yes.
Yes, in Malay we call it as dugo. Okay, so this is hyena. Wow. So can you see this hyena?
Yes.
It looks like
What?
It
yes.
looks like Anika when she's hungry.
Okay. Shazwani, it's not good to say that as my friend. Very bad role. Okay, class. Okay, class. Can you tell me what is the next animal? The next animal.
The next animal, koala.
Koala. You know what is koala?
Yes. Zafina is koala.
Huh?
Yang peluk pokok tu kan?
The one. Yes. The one that hug the
love to hug the tree. Cohort.
Okay, if you want to know the answer of the question, you can read the text. Okay, so you need to read the text to know the details of the animal. Okay, now next.
Jaguar.
Okay, so this is
Jaguar.
jaguar. So jaguar is an animal.
It's like your handbag.
Huh?
It's like your handbag. Sure.
Okay, yes. Okay, so jaguar is an animal which looks like a lion. Yes, a leopard.
I want a jaguar.
If you want to know the difference, you can read inside. Ignore me. Okay. And this orangutan. It's so cute. Look like. This is a white. Yeah.
I have this also at my home.
Okay, so class, okay, listen to me. So now in the same group, I want you to create a chess dance based on the animals that I will give to you after this. Yes. So, and when you create the jazz dance, I want you to create a body movement also to make your jazz dance more interesting.
Alright.
Okay? Not us. Yes.
Depends on my creativity.
But not more than 7 lines. You can create, but not more than 7 lines. Okay? Okay. So the first group, you will do the jazz dance.
Orangutans.
On hyena.
I want a
Orangutan.
The second one. No, I will give it to you. The second one. Okay. The second one will be on koala. The third group will be on jaguar. And the last group, Felix, Mizwa, and Adika on orangutans. Okay, so you can start creating your jazz dance. Okay, you can also look from this example. Okay, if any you need my help, you can raise your hand. Can I ask? Yeah, once again, right.
What is it? It's a koala. It's a koala.
Teacher, we have finished.
Katie, ni nak lari dari ni. Tapi dah finish.
Mana lagi?
Apa yang sebut? Yang dia sebut. Tak ada.
Okay, have you finished your task, class?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, have you finished your task? Okay, the first group, hyena group have finished.
Yeah.
Koala. What about jaguar? Yes. Okay.
Koala kat koala pedah.
Okay. So now I will choose. Which one? Which one do you want?
Koala.
Okay.
Koala.
So now, Koala group, please stand up and come and present your task. Your lesson. No, I don't want you to present. Wah. Okay. Gelap dah. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Koala, koala, la la. Koala, so beautiful. Koala, love hugging the tree. What is it, guys? It's koala, la.
Okay. Okay, so I give a clap to Koala group. Okay. Jaguar group. Jaguar group. Jaguar. Okay, can you come to the front?
Ni so musical intelligence lah teacher.
Dia musical intelligence.
Rap. Please rap. Video. Rap.
We are going to rap.
Now beatbox. Rap.
Okay, ready?
1,
2, go.
1, 2, 3.
Jaguar, you know what it is. Black and yellow, black and yellow. You know what it is. Fat and mellow, fat and mellow.
So, give a clap to Jaguar Okay, class? Okay, not class anymore. Okay, so you have seen the production stage now. So, analysis of the production stage. This stage emphasizes on the plus one or the comprehensible input. So, the teacher provides material a level higher where the pupils need to read to acquire the input. So this is where the plus one or the comprehensible input comes in. When the pupils read the input, when the pupils read the flyers that the teacher gave to them, so that is where the pupils acquire the comprehensible input. They need to read to get the input. And this is to allow the learners to continue to progress with their language development. And we can also see the relation between this hypothesis with LAD. So LAD is the language acquisition device that we have learned. It is a theory from Noah Chomsky, where language acquisition does not depend on the language input alone, but it also the tools needed to process the input. So the tools here is the flyers that the teacher gave to the pupil. That where the pupils get the input and help in language acquisition. So this is the analysis of the whole lesson, which is it implies that whatever help the comprehension is important. Where visual aids are important as it supplies the extra linguistic context that helps the acquirer to understand and thereby to acquire. So you can see from what Sania had presented before, the visual aid is one of the most important thing in input hypothesis, where it helps the students, it helps the pupils to get the linguistic context of the language. And in giving input, the teacher does not emphasizes on certain structure, but the pupils need to manipulate the input. So you can see the teacher does not ask the students to follow any sentence structure that they need to use when they are creating their own gesture. But the students themselves need to acquire, need to try by themselves on how to create the gestures. That's where the comprehensible input comes in. And you can see that the pupils fully understand that the input given as they are able to create and present their own gestures. It is not important whether the students are using the correct sentence structure, but then it is important on how the students are able to create their own gesture. And the input hypothesis also claims that the best way to teach speaking is to focus on the listening and reading, and spoken fluency will emerge on its own. For example, the routines and patterns to encourage the early production of language acquisition. So when we teach the young learner, it is important to use patterns or routines in order to help the student to get the language input. So what we the lesson that we use just time as a substitute. It is not the comprehensible input, but it is as the substitute of the comprehensible input, where the student use the pattern in order to get the language input, to get the language. So by using the patterns, slowly the student will be able to get the spoken, the speaking part. And this one is the implications of the input hypothesis for the language teaching. So, if you still remember what we have learned before, the method of language teaching, the first one is natural approach. It presenting the comprehensible input in the target language. So, the natural approach emphasizes on the language where the language output is not focused, it's not forced, and the speaking part is emerged spontaneously. It is spontaneously learned, not directly taught by the teacher. And for communicative and natural approach, it provides a great deal of comprehensible, lively input in the second language in the classroom, and also aim at providing a low anxiety environment. So when the students have to create their own gesture and they need to present, it helps them to lower down their anxiety level, thus helping them in creating the gesture and presenting their own gesture. So we recapitulate again the whole input hypothesis. So the input hypothesis, it concerns with the acquisition part, not the learning part during the implementation of the hypothesis. And the comprehensible input is the target language that the learner would not able to produce. They're not able to produce it, but they can still understand what the language are talking, what the language is all about. And this hypothesis also emphasizes on listening and reading as the prominent skill to use the I+1. So questions from what Sania has stated before. Questions emphasizes on the use of listening and reading in implementing this hypothesis, input hypothesis. But then what are we trying to do is we emphasize on the use of speaking skills, because we want to show that even though the speaking skills are not one of the prominent skills, but then it still can be used in order for the teacher to implement the input hypothesis in the other language skills, such as the speaking skill. So that is all from our presentation on the input hypothesis. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Very clear presentation. Okay, next.